G'day mate, welcome to Satisfactory with me, Jodic. Now, I'm hoping you're tuning in and watching this video because either you've been watching the YouTube series, which has just finished, or you've been watching the Twitch series and you're just loving the Satisfactory content and you wanted to sort of do a catch-up because the YouTube series is basically finished. Until new content is released, it's sort of done. Whereas the Twitch series has been ongoing. It's not as far through the tech tree, but it's a lot larger base with a lot more hours worth of playtime. We're 20 hours into the game. At least 20 hours into the game. Although this says 67 hours. So, well, there's been like 33 hours on Twitch. So, yeah, 70 odd hours into this game. So, we have all the techs except the last two, the jetpack and the gas mask. Honestly, I haven't even played with the gas mask because it just doesn't seem that helpful. I'm assuming there'll be some really deadly areas later that will need it. But I want to do a tour of this base because if you've just been watching the YouTube series, you probably haven't even seen a lot of what's going on here. So I want to do sort of a quick introduction into the series and say, look, in future you won't find the 1 hour videos on the YouTube channel for this series. We're actually going to do either heavily edited videos or I'm going to do recap videos. I'm honestly not sure. I haven't really made up my mind. At the same time, main reason this is happening today is because I have just almost, not quite, like still 2 days worth of work, finished building a brand new PC. Which means we don't have any sort of UPS problems anymore. It also means that I need to do some sort of test recording, and as there was no Satisfactory content today, I decided Satisfactory was it. So, we need to go through the base. So, everywhere possible, I've used Mark II miners. In fact, I'm pretty sure the whole base is on Mark II miners now. Now, on a pure patch, these will output 240. On a normal patch, they'll put out 120. On an impure patch, they'll put out 60. But wherever possible, we're working on a belt speed of 240. So we can see that's 2 iron belts, well, 1 and a spare belt for this patch for when we get explosives, which I'm really hoping is in the next update, because that'll give us another lane of iron. We've got, and I found out that little pause is actually the autosave, which hopefully won't be as bad anymore. Now we're on a slightly faster SSD drive. So yeah, we've got another iron here, again pure patch, another iron there, pure patch. So that's at least 3 belts of pure iron. There's actually 2 belts coming in from over there, one there and one behind that great stacker of leaves, I think. So we've got 5 belts of iron so far coming in there. We actually have room for a 6th belt, and so that's why the 6th belt's already run. On top of that, we have a copper belt way over there, which is a impure, I want to say. Let's go check. No, that's again a pure. So it's doing 240. We've got a stone and 2 more stones over there, which, as you can see, the top one goes straight in, the other 2 merge together. Because these are some crappy nodes. We've got a normal node, which means 120. One of the other 2 over there will be a normal node as well, and the other one's going to be a pure node. So that's why we've got 2 belts merged together like this to go up to the great multi-level pyramid, which still has odd construction bits hanging off it everywhere. It's a work in progress. Just the same as its ramps are work in progress. We have our doggo pen over here, where we've brought lots of doggos. We've also found out, unfortunately, that after you save the game and reload it, that any doggos you had suddenly become not your doggos anymore. They go back to being wild. But we can feed 1 or 2 or 14 of them from memory. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12... 12. I think there's some double dog. Hey! So I got a doggo who comes pre-equipped with some limestone. So yeah, we got plenty of doggos in here. I can't actually interact with them. Oh, bye doggos. They're gonna run away from me. Yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Like every single time I count them, I'm gonna come up with a different number. So we got our doggos. We have our great belt that goes over to nowhere, which we started in the middle of the forest, and we'll see it when we walk up the great ramp. But this whole area is now stripped of just about every tree that it ever had, which all gets put into whatever storage container I happen to have handy, and the great belt that I've dragged with me, and comes down here and gets sorted into logs on this side. That one's full. That one's full. That one's okay. Everything else comes down the middle, and we can see this has got a bit of everything else in it. And leaves, that's full, 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 and that's getting there. So, I do want to continue harvesting the world with a chainsaw, bit by bit by bit, but we'll see that as we walk up our ramp up to our... It is definitely a mega base. It's definitely got that title, because it brings in an insane amount of ore and converts it into just about everything. So yeah, this was all forest, much like that area or that area, and as you can see, I've sort of pruned the map just slightly, and we can see that belt goes from there to there to there to disappearing behind all that stuff to if I zoom in far enough, you can see the belt comes out from behind those trees, goes behind that tree to that storage container, to that storage container, to that storage container, to that storage container, to this storage container, which is pretty much back to the base. And whatever you put in here comes out over here, down in that storage bar below us. You are empty. Good. I'll get rid of you finally. So we have our ground level. But this is also, if you've been reading the comments, if you see people saying add fall, this is the map where I have fallen off this construction many times. So we have the ground floor. Now the ground floor was really designed to be a hideout where JD could sit and contemplate life, as well as having power on the ground floor, or the rear of the ground floor, and along with having a real storage of everything, which is still yet to be implemented. But I do want to have a way for all the resources to come in and be stored, along with somewhere on the ground level I can just, like a dump box where I can drop everything. And now that we have the more advanced logistics smart splitters, I can then split it off and send it to wherever it needs to go. So iron ore goes to the right spot, limestone goes to the right spot, wire, cable, motors, whatever I happen to have found, it all gets sent off to the right spot. That is a future plan, and it's something that I will actually make sure we do an episode on. We have the power plant down here as well, mainly because these things are massive. That's the side with the ladder. We'll just climb up here real quick. And we have 25... No, we don't have 25. I ran out of room. We have... I have no idea. 3,000 megawatts worth. So what's that? 20 of them? 20 of them. So we have a fair number of power. I already know from the other basics, it's not going to be enough. There's going to be more required, but that's a later problem. And you can also see from our power usage, most of the base is actually off. So yeah, we've got power down here. We need more power, but that's a separate problem. And even though I have blade runners on, this central pyramid is like, I think it's 31 tiles by 35 tiles. So it's quite big. Consequently, it takes a while to run to it. run anywhere. So this is the iron stacker thing from earlier, which has five belts worth at 240 ore per minute. It has a 6th belt run, which as you can see is empty. It just needs another miner hooked up to it. This side is an edge, and this is why there's an add full command when we stream this live, which has our copper on it. Also, we've thrown oil on the same spot. Copper obviously gets off there, and oil gets off up there. Is that copper, or is that... No, that's limestone. Limestone jumps off there. Oil jumps off all the way up there. And copper is... actually, copper is that one. Copper's come in at a much higher point already, so it can actually go straight into its level, because that's the main feature of this base. Everything's on its own level. So here we have the iron level. And if I can find enough things to climb on top of that we can actually have a decent look. Lovely smoke everywhere. So, this is the iron level, which has 2 belts of iron ore coming in. When he misses everything. So 2 belts of iron ore coming in and 16 smelters going flat out. And this is producing everything iron related. So we have, you know, piles and piles and piles of rods. We have piles and piles and piles of screws. In fact, we've actually got 2 solid belts of screws. Yeah, 2. I think it's even faster than Mark III. It's 4 assemblers doing 90 per minute, which is 360. Yeah, so it's more than a Mark III's belts worth. So this probably needs an upgrade of Mark IV belts down the middle. Now that we've got them. Yeah. So yeah, and then we've got, like, you know, we've got rods and screws right here. So obviously out the back of this comes rotors. We've got our iron over here, which we actually had so much iron, we'd filled our main stores over there. So I went and made another lot of storage, which is still filling up. Still filling up, but we do have like a Mark III belt. That's why it's filling up slowly, because I need the lines to back up. And now that's done, that can fill up much faster. So yeah, you know, we're putting out, I think this does a Mark II belt, 120 iron per minute, with the double nested constructors. So yeah, an insane amount of iron plates per minute, an insane amount of rotors per minute, because we've got 6 of these doing 6 per minute, so that's 336 rather, 36 rotors, which get taken off and put in storage. At the same time, they also get, and this is still a work in progress, they also get taken up to a higher level, because we'll need them on the steel level, which is even higher up. So they actually go all the way up to there eventually. We've got a... Oh, no, that's a magic belt for me to get up a level. We've got our modular frames, which when we get around to making heavy modular frames, which we haven't actually automated yet, we'll also have to go up to the steel level. I just fell off the platform. Yeah, like I said, this is why there's been a lot of ad falls in the comments. It's alright, we'll just run back up real quick. So that's the iron level, actually. We'll just go straight to the copper level. So 1 jump pad up, 2 jump pads up, and if you look, you'll see there's actually no smoke popping through from the level below, because the levels were designed to be the exact amount of tiles to block any smoke coming through. That's one of the reasons this pyramid has grown so tall. So we've got copper. Same story. We've got 2 belts of copper coming in this side to make most of our copper production. And then we've actually got another 1 belt coming in on the far side, which so far isn't hooked up, but that's to do another block of smelters, because we're going to need more cable, etc. for the electronics, which are later on. We haven't got that far yet. But yeah, we're doing a couple of cute things, like bringing a... So this is a full Mark III belt, 240 ingots per minute. And then we're splitting it two ways. So this side will do wire, and take the wire out there. This side will also do wire. Can I go back on top, please? And take the wire out there. That side also does... No, that side's when we're doing cable. So we have a wire machine, which then can feed a cable machine. Oops, I just fell off. Can also continue up the main line to the next merger, to a splitter, to a merger, to a splitter, to a merger, to a splitter, to make sure that we have enough copper, we have enough wire, plus we have enough cable. And then they both go that way into that merger, which then not only fills a storage container, which is over there, cable goes down and into that storage container, which is completely full. Like as you can see by the flashing yellow lights, there's not a lot going on this level, because everything is full and backed up. We also have all our copper cable, plus we have another set of smelters over here. Or our second belt of smelters comes and feeds this side. Can I jump across, please? Please. Which feeds this side, which makes more wire, a lot more wire. Because we've actually got 5 belts. 5 belts of wire already continuing around here. 3 are going down to make stitched iron plates. And then we've got 2 lanes going up. And as you can see, we've hung these off the walls, so we're bringing them in, and then used a couple of the wall conveyors, that's the word I'm looking for, to swing them around, swing them up to the next level. These are pretty much done. I was really happy with the way these turned out. Same with the cable going down. It goes into a wall conveyor to give us that turn. Nothing clips. Well, apart from items on the belt a little bit, but there's no real way of sort of fixing some of this stuff. Clipping is something that we've tried to avoid as much as possible, and there's even been things that I've completely rebuilt because something clips and I just didn't like it. These 3 belts come down here, they all merge back together and then run along underneath to do all our stitched iron plates. Our next level is steel. Now, steel's a little bit of a mess still. We've got the iron ore coming on this side, and using our patent pending multi-level. One stays at the bottom level, one comes up upper level. Bring them in, feed the smelters, and then we've done the exact same on the second row. We've got coal, which is upper level. We've got the iron ore, which is up another level. Fed them in all the smelters, the foundries. That's the word I'm looking for. Again, this is another patent pending JD maneuver, or JD build. We've got everything merging together to form one nice thick Mark III belt of steel ingots. And then because they don't quite fill a Mark III belt, we're actually merging them in with the lane below. So we've got this belt, which is unfortunately clipping, but now boom, magically fixed. Fitting in here to make sure that this runs at full speed, because we really need it running at full speed, to then snake its way back under here to feed everything via splitters again. So we're running into constructors on this side to do steel, and ratio says that this guy needs to do 10 plus this guy needs to do 10, which is 20, and then potentially 16 can go that way to make encased industrial beams. Now, logically, we've got 20 on the belt this way at this point, which means 10 goes that way and 10 goes that way, except this backs up. This backs up very, very quickly. So it actually means that this gets its full 16 fairly quickly. And we've continued that all the way along. You know, as soon as I've got 20 on the main belt, right, or enough to feed another encased industrial beam machine, we've put a splitter out to feed that machine. So we've got 5 machines doing encased industrial beams. Is it 5 or 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 doing encased industrial beams. So we're pumping these guys out at 20 per minute. It's good, but it's probably not enough. Our excess steel beams come over here and go and merge with this lane of industrial this lane of steel beams as well, which is, as you can see there's a splitter there and another constructor there. It's the exact same method. We had half the foundries feeding that lane, the other half of the foundries feeding this lane, to make lots of steel beams. This side is doing pipes. We've already got 1 pipe lot over there that's just going straight to storage. Can I stand on the ground, please, so I can jump again? These guys are coming over here to make stators at 6 per minute per machine, and we have, I want to say 5 machines. Yeah, 5 machines, so that's 30 stators per minute. And then that goes into motors, which we can support 3 machines. So we've got these two and this one merging into there. The lane continues along, merges in there, and continues along and merges in there. Again, it's designed on a backup system, so as soon as this end is backed up, the second one starts getting full throughput, and then it backs up, and then the third one gets full throughput. It doesn't work instantly, because it is designed for things to back up, but it does work brilliantly. As you can see as well, even though it's dark, because I've put in very large windows all the way around, and there's a lot of lights between all the machines, all the Mark III belts, everything else, there's actually it's not too bad to work in here at night. It's not perfect, but it's not too bad. So yeah, that's where a bunch of our copper cable comes in, along with our motors. Is it? No, you do stators. Where's our motor? Stators. Rotors, there they are. They come in, as said, from down on the iron level. We've got some motors there. Let's just take 50 out of here and drop them straight in the trash, because that'll turn some lights on, which will turn more lights on, which will turn more lights on. Slowly, it's a slow process to get everything back up and running to full speed. But it is a brilliant way things run. We can now see all these guys have lit up, which will in turn mean the copper wire machines on the copper level will light up because they'll have some movement on the belts. It also means the iron machines, well, first off the rotor machines will light up, then the iron machines will light up to run the components, to make the rods and the screws for the stators. Yeah, the base does turn on, and it turns on gradually after you empty your box. And you can see what it does to our power very quickly. So, on top of that, we've got more room for more steel smelters, because, like I said, we don't have the higher tech items yet. Like, haven't done the heavy modular frames. It's really the only thing left in the steel level, which requires a good amount of materials, mainly more pipes, more encased industrial beams, along with the modular frames down from the iron level. It's also going to need concrete from the concrete level, which we haven't got to yet because it's actually the next level above us. Can you see how pretty it is with all the lights running? It's like looking out onto the cityscape. So yeah, we've got our concrete level. Concrete level's pretty boring, to be honest. You bring in limestone, you feed it to constructors, out pops concrete. We've got a couple of machines still ticking on, the last couple. We have so much concrete. It's really, really, really not funny. There is one storage box here, but look, you know what? Let's just delete the whole thing. The whole thing. It's not slowing down. It's a Mark III belt. 240 concrete per minute. No problem. You might say, JD, it's all buffered at the moment. I'm like, yeah, it is. But we're also feeding in 240 limestone on each of these belts per minute. Like, they don't slow down either. It feeds all these machines. The last machine, I believe, is underclocked slightly. Yeah, 34%. So we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 machines outputting 15 concrete per minute. So it's 150 concrete per minute. And the last two do 5. So we're making 160 concrete per minute. Emptying this machine and throwing everything out is nothing to this base. This is, and whilst we're up here we can look down upon the steel base because I haven't filled this in yet. Because I'm a little bit sad that concrete's here. Because it just takes up no space whatsoever. We're going to see what the future holds. Maybe there's more stuff. Maybe I end up doing Catatarium or being the quick wire up here as well. I'm not sure. At the same time, our pyramid... Let's go stand on the corner. Our pyramid, and it's one of the things I really love about this base, is it steps in one per tile. This is why it's called a pyramid base. It's actually... The overall footprint is getting smaller and smaller the further we go up in levels. Our next level, which is actually going to be a double level, and we're debating on whether to build the walls straight up or build them up, step it in, and then build it up the rest of the way, is actually the petroleum level, which at the moment is doing nothing but solid fuel. Solid fuel, I'm going to say solid fuel, it's not solid fuel, it is just fuel. So we've got 8 refineries, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, 8 refineries pumping out fuel. It actually gives us a Mark... This says a Mark IV, but I think it's actually... No, it is a Mark IV speed belt, and I've started working this down level by level by level. And as you can see, it comes down, it attaches across here, and then comes... It falls. Comes down, loops back upon itself, and then disappears into this mess. Here we go. Loops back upon itself again to come down to then be split out to running into all our different fuel generators. Now we're going to run all the way back to the top. So that's as far as that's got so far. I haven't finished adding the rest of the fuel levels. I also haven't finished, I haven't got coal into the steel level properly. It's still a work in progress. We can now see all the smelters lit up with green lights. Now a lot of that's still yellow. But because I took out one item, like whole parts of the base turn on. And we can go up a level, up to copper, up to steel, up to concrete, and then finally up to our oil level. And if we just take a step outside onto the edge, you can quickly see we are much higher than we were before, and we've still got a long way to go. And you can sort of see how it steps down now. So yeah, that was our fairly quick tour of our lovely Pyramid MegaBase. As I said, I'm going to continue this. I'm looking forward to the new content when it pops out. At which point I might reboot. Well, I might revive the YouTube series and keep going with that as much more of a let's play and making progress as we make progress. Whereas this base, I do want to continue. And I want to continue on the channel, not just over on Twitch, as a much more of a grander scale of like big. Let's build big, because I really want a factory that has the highest output possible. We've done mega bases in Factorio, so it really seems fitting that we should also go for a MegaBase in Satisfactory. And this, I hope, is... You can see how small a fuel generator gets real quick. This, I really hope, should be it. Should be it for us. We should be able to turn this into a real MegaBase. We've got computers on the next level to be built. And then after computers... It's really sort of the end of the tech tree. We've got actually computers and supercomputers. They're really the next two things, which is going to be fill out the oil level, take oil up higher, take copper up really high, which is going to be more of these zigzag belts down the side of the pyramid to go up and down levels. And then on top of that, when everything's done, I also need to somehow take a shaft right through the middle to take one of every end product all the way down and potentially all the way back up from our sorting system at the base, at the bottom of the pyramid structure. So, I think that's where I'm going to leave it. Yeah, I didn't show the supports, I didn't show the coal at the back. That's all that coal, again, being zigzagged back and forth on conveyor stackers. It's late here. I'm forgetting words. So, I'm going to leave it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. As I said, this sort of reintroduction into the series. If you haven't been watching so far, this is a good time to start watching. You can always go back and watch the previous live streams. The live streams do have the advantage of you, the viewer, gets to watch normally at the same time. So there's lots of back and forth conversation and joking around with you guys in chat. If you want to catch me live on Twitch, your best bet in the description down the bottom is a Twitch link. You can click there and follow me. That way you get notifications, along with Twitter. I'm getting better slowly at making sure I put a tweet out before I actually go live on Twitch. And because I have absolutely no sleeping schedule whatsoever, it means I could be streaming at any hour of the day. So with that, thank you guys for watching. I really hope you're enjoying. I do apologize if there's any background computer noise, because the new PC is here, but the video card needs some tuning still, because the fans take off 1,000 miles an hour. But it now actually means that we're running everything on ultra settings, because why not? So, thank you guys for watching. See you next one. Bye.